Bitcoin hits 1 year high and it soars past $31.3 thousand. It is Friday, June 23rd. It's 1 p.m. and this is the crypto newsletter. We have been calling this to a T. It's exactly what we imagined playing out for the past couple of weeks now. Since late May, we were saying June 9th to June 12th of a dip, then an immediate snap back to hitting new highs for the year. And that's exactly what played out. So everything is fun right now. This is the perfect opportunity to strike within the market when you see green across the board. It's a bullish bias. We've seen Bitcoin make a new high and a higher low, another higher high and another higher low. So we are flipping this bear market to bull market, and it's more set in stone now more than ever. And we were calling that since like December of last year. So if you're new here, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment and a like. And if you've been around supporting for a bit, let me know in the comments if you're making money today, because we're seeing a lot of green across the board. We see for top gainers, we got Bitcoin Cash is making some noise today. We got VeChain making some noise today. And we got the whole market across the board in the green. So let's dive into it. We got Bitcoin hits 1 year high, soars past 31.3K. The largest crypto by market cap has been surging this week after 3 financial giants filed applications for spot Bitcoin ETFs. Bitcoin continues its mid-June surge. We're calling for a June bloom. We're getting it now, a little late, but we're getting it. Soaring to a 1 year high above 31,000. The largest cryptocurrency by market cap was recently trading at 31.110, up nearly 4%. It is roughly up 20% over the past week. Bitcoin began spurting earlier this week, a few days after BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, applied for a spot ETF, as 2 other financial services powerhouses refiled their applications for similar products. Also, it's rumored Fidelity is doing a Bitcoin ETF. Also, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, Citigroup, Citadel Securities launch EDX Markets, which is a crypto exchange. We're seeing these traditional institutions pile in right now. Now more than ever, has it been confirmed that crypto is here to stay? Digital assets are here to stay. And even yesterday, I think it was, or 2 days ago, you had Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve, basically, I think it was like a conference or something, saying digital assets have staying power as an asset class. Let me pull that up. So the Fed Chair Powell, he said crypto appears to have staying power as an asset class. And then he said stable coins is a form of money. Yeah. So like now more than ever, we're seeing the narrative change. Of course is changing, right? So bullish bias. So let's go into the next thing, because we have TUSD is under attack following Prime Trust insolvency. We covered Prime Trust and BitGo not like axing the acquisition yesterday, and we're seeing some turbulence from this. We're seeing the mounting short interest comes after crypto custodian Prime Trust could no longer fulfill withdrawal requests. I actually got an email from Stably saying that they're affected by it. I have my Chia on there. I wonder if I'm able to get that, but I'm going to have to check that. But yeah, Prime Trust is affected. Binance US is affected as well too. I got an email from them saying that full withdrawals and deposits of USD is in service as of right now, but they fully expect to be cut off from that. And I believe Binance US has their relationship with Prime Trust. So US based Prime Trust, known for fiat and to digital asset on and off ramps, had before been struggling for cash and had recently been ordered by Nevada financial regulator to half operations under a cease and desist order. So they're closing out the on and off ramps. They're really trying to make it so the traditional incumbents are the ones custodying and providing the access on and off to getting into crypto and getting out of crypto. And we're seeing a clamp down as we speak, and it's perfect timing as prices are going up and people are having more troubles being able to, the retail investor having more troubles being able to purchase crypto or being limited to the amount that they get to purchase crypto. Then who's buying? Probably over the counter pushing it up. And it's not retail, that's for sure. So something out of Stellar right now. We're going to have to dive into that. Let's pull that up first. So we have Stellar's open network enables users around the world to create, send, and trade digital representations of all forms of money. Coinbase is making it easier than ever to store and move money by adding USDC support for Stellar. So this is breaking news. Stellar's a powerhouse. And I'm actually going to do a deep dive today on Stellar and Protocol 19. Protocol 19. I don't know if anybody's shared this yet. I haven't seen it, but we're going to cover Stellar in a deep dive with Protocol 19. But let's dive into the next thing. This is huge news because now they're enabling USDC on Stellar, or they already had it actually going, but Stellar is super fast. And Circle, Stellar, and MoneyGram in partnership with the United Nations have Stellar Aid Assist. So they were giving financial relief kind of payments and dispersing USDC to Ukraine victims and who need disaster relief. I see that going worldwide. Stellar is going to be the one. And of course, XRP for institutions. So TUSD, Circle was SVB's biggest client, a report says. So it turns out that at least for a time, stablecoin issuer Circle was reportedly the single largest asset-weighted customer at Silicon Valley Bank. It collapsed earlier this year in March, and we saw that Circle held about $3.3 billion at SVB around the time of the bank's collapse in March, and the USDC issuer then pledged to stand behind USDC. I feel like, 3.3 billion, 31.3K. I just feel like that sometimes it's like we're living in a simulation. Circle's USDC stablecoin had to peg from its $1 mooring when SBV headed for bankruptcy, raising crypto industry questions as to the extent of the damage from ties to SBV and other banks that went on to fail, including Signature and Silvergate. It's crazy. Like last year was a disaster, 2022, and we're still seeing things to this day in 2023, being halfway through the year, that is just this whole industry is going through a transformation, and we're living through it. We're living through it right now. Then the BIS, Blueprint for the Future Monetary System, Proving the Old, Enabling the New. This full report is coming out on the 25th, and I believe that's Switzerland time. So it's actually going to come out Saturday morning. So we'll be on top of getting that first and digging through it to find if there's anything of more detail that we can build off of. 500 years, right? So this is such a huge opportunity. And remember the holy grail of cross-border payments? I covered it in a deep dive when covering the unified ledger. Like this is a thousands of year problem that they're solving, that they're going to achieve within this decade. And this is the first time ever where we can own a piece of it before institutions pile in and offer it to everybody who has a 401k or so like IMF lukewarm on crypto, notably economic instability, low institutional credibility, substantial capital flows, corruption, and extensive informal sectors. The IMF reiterated what it laid out in February 2023, guidelines for regulating digital assets. We might have to go back through that. It pointed to the fact that crypto is inherently volatile and could shake the foundations of a country's monetary system if there are big price swings. And we did a video yesterday because today it's happening as well too. There's a conference. I think it's in France is holding it. Let me go to that in the Discord. It was in news. So yeah, it's a summit for a new global financing pact towards more commitments to meet the 2030 agenda, and June 22nd to June 23rd. So yes, it is going on today. And they were calling for a shake in the foundation of the financial system in this. So I did a short video on it, but let me just kind of show that. Yep. So if we go down a bit, this isn't the one. This isn't it. But yeah, if you go into the Discord, links in the bio, you can watch the short video I did on it right here. A shakeup in finance. So it's right there. If you join the Discord, links in the bio. So let's keep going because we got leveraged Bitcoin futures ETF to start trading Tuesday next week. Volatility Share says its 2x leveraged Bitcoin futures exchange traded fund will be based on CME Bitcoin futures prices. So we have a lot of stuff launching in the traditional markets when it comes to digital assets. Coinbase wins Supreme Court ruling in arbitration lawsuit. The company's clear legal victory in the U.S. High Court isn't about crypto, but it could play into future court disputes for all businesses. So they won in the Supreme Court. The sole question here is whether the district court must stay its pre-trial and trial proceeding while the interlocutory appeal is ongoing. The answer is yes. Let's go down. Not sure what this is about and why they were in the Supreme Court. Yeah, I'm not sure why. But 3/4 of jurisdictions not complying with global crypto laundering norms, the FATF says. The global anti-money laundering watchdog FATF said North Korea is using digital assets to fund weapons of mass destruction. More jurisdictions are still not fully complying with international anti-money laundering norms for crypto, standards setter that Financial Action Task Force has said. So I think they're going to implement that travel rule. I think they have a certain date as far as when that has to be across the board implemented, the travel rule that has to do with for anti-money laundering norms and how the normal kind of financial system works. Can central banks be conservative and innovative at the same time? Morton Beck says yes. A giant leap for the Swiss National Bank and central banks. This was breaking news today. The Bank of International Settlements is more innovative than you might think. In 2019, the Central Bank of Central Banks, as it's often called, has opened an innovation hub with various locations around the world, including in Switzerland. It has, for example, collaborated with the Swiss National Bank to examine the usability of wholesale central bank digital currencies. So the question is, what's coming up next? What's coming up next? So let's see. I'm going to play this video. Let's see how long it is. 7 minutes. Okay, yeah, let's play this video. But we'll play that at the end. So keep continuing all the way through. We're just going to finish off this last one. DeFi gens and finance bros, let's be friends. Crypto and traditional finance have more in common than they might think, and both would benefit by taking each other more seriously. I'm talking about kind of collaborating traditional finance and decentralized finance. Encouraging knowledge sharing is just the first step, but it's perhaps the most critical one to take. Then if we see, we got some more breaking news. We have SEC should approve all spot Bitcoin ETFs at the same time. A Van Eck executive says SEC should stop picking winners. And then we have this right here. It's honestly bullish if VeChain gets listed on Coinbase, because Coinbase yesterday announced that they're going to be listing it in the middle of the bear market and SEC's scrutiny. It's probably the only asset getting listed right now. That's true, because it qualifies and meets all the stringent requirements out there. Not sure what you're doing sleeping on VeChain, to be honest. And then I got the same email. So somebody said, got this from Binance US email today. Makes me wonder now. Cryptocurrencies that will support USD and USDT trading: BNB, Bitcoin, Cardano, Ethereum, Litecoin, Polygon, Solana, Tether, USD Coin, and VeChain. So there we got that. Then we have Bitcoin surge may not be the beginning of the end of the bear market. You had this guy offers a straightforward explanation of why BlackRock and other financial services giants want to offer a spot Bitcoin ETF. And he's saying because of money, they want to make money. This is truly welcome news for the market, but perhaps not quite that beginning of the end of the bear market. I mean, I would say that we've already ended the bear market technically. So let's keep going, because we got crypto enthusiasts are wrong to target Gary Gensler. I'm not even going to cover that. But basically, it just says laws in the US are the problem. Cryptocurrency advocates should focus on changing them, and in the meantime, consider moving to the European Union. Sign me up. I'm ready to go. You tell me in the comments, where should I go and live in the EU? Should I go to Italy? I'm thinking so. But let's finish it off by watching this video, a giant leap for the Swiss National Bank and central banks. And if you're new, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment, leave a like. And I'm going to be covering the stellar deep dive later today, which is announcing Protocol 19. Now, absolutely huge it is. So we'll cover that in the deep dive later today. So make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get updated in real time when we drop that. Links in the bio to join the Discord. And I'll be ending it off by playing this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
The Bank of International Settlements is more innovative than you might think. In 2019, the Central Bank of Central Banks, as it's often called, has opened an innovation hub with locations around the world, including in Switzerland. It has, for example, collaborated with the Swiss National Bank to examine the usability of central bank digital currencies. So the question is, what's coming up next? Welcome to Finance.Swiss. I'm Tanja König, and today I'm speaking to Morton Beck, the head of the BIS Innovation Hub in Switzerland, to find out what they're currently working on and what they will be presenting at Point Zero Forum in Zurich next week. Morton, so we're meeting here at the BIS Innovation Hub Center in Basel, Switzerland. What exactly is your mandate?
Okay, thank you. Well, before I get to the mandate, let me just say a few words about the Innovation Hub in general. I think to most people, when you say central banks and innovation, it sounds like a contradiction in terms. I like to see us as a bumblebee, something that in theory should not be able to fly, but somehow we're off the ground, and I would argue flying in the right direction. In terms of our mandate, it is really to make central banks better at what they're already doing today by introducing new technologies and innovation. And what we produce is of high quality, so I like to think of us as central bank innovation Swiss-made.
And central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, are one of the hot topics that you're involved with here at the Innovation Hub. Together with the Swiss National Bank and SIX Swiss Exchange, you successfully examined the usability of CBDCs in Project Helvetia. Now, how are the conclusions there helping you to advance your work?
Well, I'm very happy that you mentioned Helvetia. It was one of our first projects and a great collaboration with both the SNB but also SIX. And so in Helvetia, we examined how best to settle trades that occur on this new SIX digital exchange for tokenized assets. What are tokenized assets, you might ask? Well, tokenized assets are securities that are issued on platforms that are based on what is known as distributed ledger or blockchain technology. And so what we learned from Helvetia was that we could do this two ways. Either we could hook the SDX platform up to the existing payment system of the Swiss National Bank, or we could have the Swiss National Bank issue a so-called wholesale CBDC onto the SDX platform. And the conclusions were that while it was probably easier to use the existing infrastructure, there was a lot more upside in terms of issuing a wholesale CBDC onto SDX. And I think importantly, that's also the conclusion that the Swiss National Bank has reached, as they have recently announced that they will be taking Helvetia forward and for a limited time actually issue a live wholesale CBDC onto the SDX platform to settle real transactions. That might sound like a small step for the SNB, but in the world of central banking, that's actually a giant leap. And I think it also shows that you can be conservative and innovative at the same time.
And it also shows that out of the proof of concept, something concrete happens.
Yes, that's really ultimately the goal of the BIS Innovation Hub, in that some of the things or prototypes or proof of concepts that we produce are actually taken live either by central banks or others. And so this is very good to see.
And another priority of yours is the improvement in payment systems. Together with the central bank digital currencies, it also reflects the priorities of G20 countries and central banks to improve cross-border payments. What does this entail?
Well, it entails a lot of things, but first, there's a lot of things that works well in payments. One is that now many jurisdictions have what is known as instant or fast payment systems where you can pay each other instantly. Also, since the pandemic, we have seen the spread of contactless payments throughout economies. But there's still one big remaining pain point in payments, and that's cross-border payments. And so recently, or a couple of years ago, the G20 decided that enough is enough and made it a high priority to actually improve cross-border payments, making them cheaper, faster, and more transparent. And so the BIS Innovation Hub is trying to do its part by trying to figure out where technology or innovation can move things forward. And we have a couple of projects where we are doing that.
Well, let's talk about one of the projects, which is a current project called Mariana, a joint proof of concept between Eurosystem, the BIS Innovation Hub, Bank of France, Monetary Authority of Singapore, and the Swiss National Bank. And the first results will be presented next week at Point Zero Forum in Zurich. What exactly we're examining there?
Well, so one of the big challenges in any solution to cross-border payments is how you convert from one currency to the other. Mariana is a super exciting project and actually, I think, demonstrate why it's awesome to work in the Innovation Hub, in that we're working with the latest technologies, newest ideas in finance, and together with colleagues, great colleagues around the world. What Mariana is doing is really that it's looking to the future. So it envisions a future state of the world where central banks have issued central bank digital currencies, and then ask a very simple question of how you can actually convert from one currency to the other.
How do you do that?
Well, here we borrow from decentralized finance or DeFi. And so in DeFi, when you want to go from one coin to another coin, you often use something called an automated market maker. And what we're trying to do in Project Mariana is to replicate this idea in a world with CBDC. So we're basically trying to build an automated market maker for central bank digital currencies. And hopefully that can then help speed up and make cross-border payments cheaper.
Great. Well, very exciting things coming out of the BIS Innovation Hub, it seems, and we're looking forward to the results presented at Point Zero Forum. Thank you very much, Morten Beck.
Thank you very much.